That made neither here nor there, John continued, with some wrath at his own interruption. Blacksmith Norwood, the squire had been, and veered to lose his own custom. If squire took to shooting again, shut any man I would myself as interfered with my trade likey. Lucky for thee, said Bill Blacksmith, at thee's best so short and fat, Jan. Thee on us war a goon to shut 'em, till a zee how fat thee was, Jan. Lord now, Bill, I answer, what a good cold swat upon me, shut me, Bill, and my own wife, and never drum of it. Here John Fry looked round the kitchen, for he had never seen anything of the kind, I doubt, but now made it part of his discourse, from thinking that Mistress Fry was come, as she generally did, to fetch him. "What done then, Jan Fry?" said the woman who had entered quietly, but was only our old Molly. "What handsome manners thee hast got, Jan, to speak so well of thy wifey likey, after all the life she leads thee." "Put thee pot on the fire, old woman, and boil thee own bacon," John answered her, very sharply. "Nobody no right to meddle with a man's bad omen but themselves. Well, here was all these here men a-waiting, some with horses, some without, the common folk with long good guns, and the quality with good broadswords. Who were they? Where let me see. There was Squire Maunder," here John assumed his full historical key, "him with the part to his victual place, and Sir Richard Belwit shaking over the zaddy, and Squire Sandford Lee, him with the long nose and one eye, and Sir Gronis Bachildor over to Ninehead Court, and there was so many more of 'em, tolling up on how they was a-going to be promoted for kitchen of Tom Faggus. Hope to God, says I to myself, poor Tom wouldn't come here today, or up with her, if a doted, and who be there to succor days. Mark me now, all these chops was good to shut 'em, as her coon crashed the water. The water be wade now there in Stony, but no deeper than my knee place. Thee can'son good no verder," Blacksmith said to me. "Nobody lower the crest of verd, until such time as Faggus coon, plaise God us, may make sure of 'em." "Amen, zo be it," says I. "God knoweth, I be never in a hurry, and would as zooner stop nor goon on most tamies." With that I pulled my vittles out, and zat a horseback 10 of 'em, and uncommon good they was. Won't let us have this tamer just saith, Tim Potter, as keepeth the bull there, and yet I be sorry for him, but a man must kape the law, her must, zo be her can only learn it, and now poor Tom will swing as high as the tops of they git hashes there. Just thee kitchen unvist, says I, measure rope with the body to measure by. "Hooray! Here be another now," said Bill Blacksmith, grinning. "Another coon help us. What a grave gentleman, a warship of the pace at last." For the gentleman on a cue-ball horse was coming slowly down the hill on t'other side of water, looking at us in a friendly way, and with a long paper standing forth the lining of his coat likey. Horse strapped to drinking the water, and gentleman spat to unkindly, and then they coon right on to unseen, and the gentleman's face was so long and so grey, us veered a warn of going to preach us. "Court's a King's Bench," saith one man. "Checker and plays," saith another. "Splish commission, I doubt," saith Bill Blacksmith, "backed by the Mayor of Taunton." "Any justice of the King's peace, good people to be found near here," said a gentleman, lifting his hat to us, and very gracious in his manner. "Your Honour," saith Bill, with his hat off his head, "there be 6 or 7 warships here, all on 'em very wizen. Squire Maunder there be the zenner." So the gentleman rode up to Squire Maunder, and raised his cocked hat in a manner that took the squire out of countenance, for he could not do the like of it. "Sir," he said, "good and worshipful sir, I am here to claim your good advice and valour for purposes of justice. I told His Majesty's commission to make a cease a notion rogue, whose name is Thomas Faggus. With that he offered his commission, but Squire Maunder told the truth, that he could not read even words in print, much less written characters. Then the other magistrates rode up, and put their heads together, how to meet the London gentleman without loss of importance. There were one of them as could read pretty very, and made out King's mark upon it, and he bowed upon his horse to the gentleman, and he laid his hand on his heart, and said, 'Worshipful sir, we, as has the honour of His Gracious Majesty's commission, are entirely at your service, and crave instructions from you, lest I seem to underrate the erudition of Devonshire magistrates. I venture to offer copy of a letter from a Justice of the Peace to his bookseller, circular 1810 A.D., now in my possession. Sir, please to send me the ass relating to Augustus Pax, ed. of L.D.' Then a waving of hats began, and bowing, and making of legs to one another, such as never was seen before. But none of them all, for Aaron Braden, could coom an eye the gentleman with the long grave face. 'Your warships have posted the men right well,' saith he, with a gather all around. 'Surely that big rogue will have no chance left among so many valiant musketeers. Ha! What see I there, my friend? Rust in the pan of your gun. That gun would never go off, sure as I am the King's Commissioner. And I see another just as bad, and lo, there's the third. Pardon me, gentlemen. I have been so used to His Majesty's ordnance yards, but I feel that bold rogue would ride through all of you, and laugh at your worship's beards, by George.' 'But what shall us do?' Squire Maunder asked. 'I fear there be no oil here.' 'Discharge your pieces, gentlemen, and let the men do the same, or at least let us try to discharge them, and load again with fresh powder. It is the fog of the morning hath spoiled the priming. That rogue is not in sight yet, but God knows we must not be asleep with him, or what will His Majesty say to me, if we let him slip once more?' 'Excellent, wondrous well said, good sir,' Squire Maunder answered him. 'I never should have thought of that now. Bill Blacksmith, tell all the men to be ready to shoot up into the air, directly I give the word. Now, are you ready there, Bill?' 'All ready, your worship,' saith Bill, saluting like a soldier. 'Then 1, 2, 3, and shoot!' cried Squire Maunder, standing up in the irons of his stirrups. Thereupon they all blazed out, and the noise of it went all around the hills, with a girt thick cloud rising, and all the air smelling of powder. Before the cloud was gone so much as 10 yards on the wind, the gentleman on the cool bald horse shuts up his face like a pair of nut cracks.